Eric Andres, your guitar sage, and I'm here with Tim again, our pedal freak. Today we're looking at the Hummingbird by Earthquaker Devices. This is a cool little tremolo pedal. So this would fall under the category of modulators, and basically it doesn't affect the tone of your guitar as much as it affects how your tone reacts, if you will. So I guess some people would consider it being tone, but basically it's a, we'll play it here. I'm going to have Tim play through it here and describe it a little bit more for you. So Tim, why don't you play a little something and tell us about this really cool pedal.
So first off, before I play real quick, I just wanted to say the tremolo is basically what it does is it turns on and off your signal given a specific rate and how hard it turns off. So you can get it to where, I'll show you here in a second. So at a harder setting, it's going to be like more like a straight on and off. So
like a switch being turned on and off as opposed to a volume being turned up and down, right?
Yeah, okay. Exactly. From really subtle to really intense. So
nice.
Pretty cool.
Okay, and so we've got depth, which is basically how wide you're going from your actual volume to where it dips to. Is that correct?
Yeah, I believe that's kind of what it is. It's basically just how hard the waveform is, because you talk about tremolo in terms of waveforms. This specific one is made to be a square wave, so it's on and off.
I gotcha. Okay.
Instead of your sine wave like you'd find on vintage Fender amps, which is more of kind of like turning the volume up and down kind of fast.
Smooth. Yeah.
So yeah, this is meant to be really helicopter choppy kind of a thing, and it can get pretty. It's really cool. You can get a really cool swampy tone out of it. Dan Auerbach from the Black Keys is known to use this pedal. He uses a lot of stuff from Earthquaker Devices, mostly because they're both them and the Black Keys are out of Akron, Ohio. But also because they make really good stuff, really high quality gear.
Okay, so as well as having the depth, you also have the rate, which is the speed of the tremolo.
Yep, and on this guy, you've got a really big range. I'll keep the depth all the way up so you can hear the range of speed a lot easier. So it goes from... You can turn it all the way up here. And then when you flip this switch over, you can turn it up again. And it eventually gets pretty ridiculous when you turn it all the way up.
Which we were saying, it sounds a bit like a ring modulator, which is another effect that you can use on your guitar.
Yeah, it can sound pretty synthy. You can get some really cool synth-like tones out of this thing, especially when, because I like to use fuzz pedals a lot. When you use the fuzz with this guy, it gets pretty ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. Now, can you tell us, as far as, is this buffered, is it true bypass?
This one is true bypass.
Okay. So true bypass, if you've watched some of our other pedal reviews, basically true bypass, if you don't know what it is, it saves your tone, if you will, a little bit. Sometimes it's not, it's negligible. You can't really hear the difference. But a true bypass pedal, when you cut it off, will have your signal go straight through the pedal as opposed to being worked through any of the other circuitry, which can color your tone a little bit. Okay, so this is true bypass, and it has your standard 9 volt inputs, so you don't have to use batteries. Can you use a battery with it though?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
I believe so. I haven't tried, but
Yeah. You probably have to take the thing apart, but
Yeah.
most of the time works best by using a standard 9-volt
Yep.
connection. Anything else about this cool thing? It's a great sounding pedal.
it's got a level control on it, so you can get a little bit of a boost. So then you can really get that kind of swampy sound out of it. So like. So you can get a really cool kind of CCR-ish type of tone. If I could play the riff right.
Nice. Okay, so there you are. There's the Hummingbird by Earthquaker Devices. Hopefully, you can add this to your arsenal. But one other question, Tim.
Yeah.
Where do you put this in your pedal lineup? Where typically are these modulators put in the pedal lineup?
It depends on the modulation for me. I like my phasers, chorus, Leslie type, vibrato type of things towards the middle, in between fuzz and overdrive. And I like time sensitive things at the end.
What do you mean by time sensitive?
Things with a really like here you've got your rate, so you've got the speed with like it's a very rhythmic effect. Same thing with delay. I like to put delay at the end, and I also like to put reverb at the end. The reason for that is if I have a delay on, I like to put my delay before this. I like this to be my very last thing, so that way the delay gets chopped up by the tremolo as well.
Mm-hmm.
If I
Yeah.
wanted to do that, and the reverb would get chopped up as well.
Yeah, so there are no hard, fast rules, but putting your effects in different orders and what have you gives you different textures, different sounds. Typically, modulation is put near the end of the chain, but as you can see, people do different things for different reasons to get different sounds. So experiment a bit and see what you like the best. Okay. So again, it's the Hummingbird Earthquaker Devices. How much is it?
I believe I got it for around 120, 125, somewhere around that range.
So a great little tonal additive for about $1.20. Hopefully you dig this little device, and it will be new in your arsenal soon. And hopefully you like this video. If you do, hit the thumbs up, hit subscribe. Make sure you spay and neuter your little kitties and dogs, and eat your veggies. This is Eric Andreas with Your Guitar Sage with Tim, the pedal freak. See ya.